We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Jeff. Jeff has upgraded and he wants us to talk him off the ledge. This is sometimes the wrong podcast for that, Jeff. He is thinking about getting an Epson HC5040UB, which is $3,000, which has lens memory plus a 153-inch diagonal 2.35:1 aspect ratio, elite screen, Cinetention 2 screen. So that's a roll-down screen for $1,500.
Mm-hmm.
He's also thinking about upgrading to four subwoofers. Jeff's room is 20 feet by 15.5 feet wide. So 15 and a half. Just put 15 feet. You guys are killing me with these.
You used to complain when we put inches because we would.
I'm going to complain either way.
I have to type out the whole word so you can read it phonetically.
Okay.
Fine.
Fine. You know what? Don't put 0.6.
This is 5. 15 and a half. What's 0.5?
I know, but now I'm getting. Just shut up. All right. The middle portion of his ceiling is 9 feet 4 inches, but he has a soffit all around the perimeter of his room, which leaves him with 8 feet from the floor to the bottom of the soffit. His seat is 13.5 feet from the front wall, so it's 20 feet
13
long.
feet 6 inches. Yes.
Yeah. 13 and a half feet from the front wall, 6.5 feet from the back wall. All right. And every corner has a triangular floor-to-ceiling base traps that extend 2 feet along each wall. In other words, while his front wall is 15 and a half feet wide, there's only 11 and a half feet of wall visible. The door on the back wall is about 2.5 feet from the rear left corner. There's no
diagram.
Picture?
There's no diagram. That's why we're describing it.
This is begging for a picture.
It's not that. It's a rectangular room. He's got a soffit going around the room. He's got triangular base traps in every corners, and the door to the room is near the rear left corner. It's on the back wall, but it's 2.5 feet over from the left wall. That's all.
Kind of like where my bathroom door is. Yeah.
There you go.
Except it's on the right wall. Right. Okay. So it swings. Okay. It's so the right beside the rear left corner base trap. It's a left-handed door, so it swings towards the left corner when you open it, so towards the base trap.
Yeah.
All right. So his concerns. Jeff is currently using a 120-inch diagonal 16.9 screen, 16 by 9 screen that hangs 8 inches in front of his front wall. This gives him a 37.5 field of view. He's thinking he'd like to keep the same image height, about 59 inches, but have the screen be wider for 2.35:1.
That
The
makes sense.
153-inch diagonal 2.35:1 screen is 59.9 inches, or 60 inches for those of us who round things and don't put needless decimals everywhere. So it would seem to fit the bill. The problem is that it won't physically fit. The case is 158 inches wide, so his corner base traps would be in the way.
Mm-hmm.
But since his corner base traps are triangles, if he mounts the new 2.35:1 12 inches in front of the front wall, it will just fit. That will increase his field of view to nearly 40 degrees for 16 by 9 content and nearly 51 degrees for 2.35:1 images. This setup will also push his front left-right speakers considerably further apart. They are Ascend Acoustics CR2s, and they'll only be about a foot from the side walls with his larger screen in between. He'd end up with a blank white space on either side of the screen when watching 16 by 9 content. Are there any masking solutions for roll-down screens?
There are, but not for the Cinetention 2.
No, yeah, the ones, I mean, the ones that I've seen are like super. I researched this a long time ago, and it was like crazy expensive. Like,
well, Seymour AV has it for not insanely expensive. Well, what they actually do is they have a roll down screen, and then there is a second roller in front of that screen that just has sort of masks that come down on the left and the right. So it's for this situation, but it's considerably more expensive than the $1,500 that you're talking about for this Elite screen. So there's no like aftermarket roll down masking solution. Elite Screens does actually sell a dual screen solution. It's 2 screens in one case, one screen being 16 by 9, the other screen being 2.35:1. However, the largest size that Elite Screens offers, the 2.35:1 screen, is 133 inches diagonal. It's 20 inches smaller diagonally than the screen that he's considering. So that isn't really a solution either. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Now, there is one other thought that I have, which is you already have your 120-inch screen, which you are satisfied with for 16:9 content. You just want it to be the same height but wider when you're watching CinemaScope content. How about 2 screens? You keep your 120-inch where it is, and you mount a new screen either. Well, you'd have to mount it in front of it because otherwise it won't physically fit, as you just said.
Right.
But you could have a second screen that rolls, the wider, the new CinemaScope screen that rolls down in front of your existing 120-inch.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not costing you extra.
That's right. So, yes. Yeah, just keep both screens. There you go. All right. What do I have to... there's so much things to scroll past here. All right, anyways. He's got dual SVS PB 2000 subwoofers already. One is on the left wall, about 3 feet from the back wall, and the other is diagonally opposite, so on the right wall, about 2 feet from the front wall. If he went for the 153-inch 2.35 to 1 screen, he'd either have to put his right front speaker on top of the subwoofer or move the subwoofer. Are there any issues with that?
Use the subwoofer as a speaker stand. I mean, I'd put something squishy in between the top of the sub and the speaker, like say an Auralex Mopad.
Yeah, this is the ones that have the new ones have the wood on top or whatever, right? The MDF or whatever it is up on top of this.
Oh, well, like the PB 2000.
Oh, the PB. I thought it was a PC. Sorry, I'm sorry. I thought it was the cylinder. I was looking.
No,
the
PB
I had cylinder in my head. I was like, cylinder. It's going to be awfully high, but the PB, yeah, you can use it.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the whole screen size thing, I mean, maybe you really do want 50° plus. We just had Mahi who wants that, so that's fine if that's really what you want. But if you are concerned about it being maybe a little bit too big and having the speakers, a little bit pushed out too far to the sides, like angle-wise, they're fine, but they are going to be awfully close to those side walls now. Like the next size down in that Cinetention 2 series from Elite is 138 inches diagonal. All right. Now, if you did what I still suggested, which is you keep your 120-inch 16:9 screen, then you mount the 138-inch 2.35 to 1 screen in front of it, and you mount it at 12 feet 3 inches instead or something like that, you can give yourself like a 47 degree field of view. Maybe that's enough, and now it's a little bit not quite as wide, so the speakers will fit a little bit more nicely. It's just something to consider, right? You don't necessarily have to go for the very biggest 153. If you're thinking something like 47-inch degree field of view would be sufficient, do keep in mind the 138-inch screen will be physically closer to you than your 120, which means that, the small difference in height you won't really notice to your eye because it's been brought a little bit closer to you. So to me, that solves like all the issues if you kind of do it that way. So,
and it's cheaper. It's going to be cheaper than the 153.
Yeah, it's a little bit cheaper. It's just a little bit smaller. You just mount it a little bit closer. Yeah.
Oh, did I reread this one?
But anyway, yeah, the subwoofer thing. Yeah, no problem putting a speaker on top of it. And then, he wants to do maybe 4 subwoofers, right?
Yeah, so if he upgrades the 4 subs, he cannot reposition the sub that's on the left wall near the rear left corner. So how should he position the 3 other subs? The corners are filled with bass traps, and the back wall isn't really open due to it. I don't think you need 4 subs, dude. Honestly.
Well, here's the thing. If he's going to use one of his PB2000s as essentially a speaker stand, right?
Yeah, because it's going to be over by the wall, basically.
It's going to be close to the wall, so he's going to basically use it as a speaker stand. So you put another one, which will also be close to the side wall, but a little bit forward of the physical front wall, right? Because that's where your speakers are going to go. That, more or less, like what it's going to look like is you're sitting in your seat. You're going to have 2 subs on your left wall, one that's about 3 feet from the front wall, one that's about 3 feet from the back wall. You're going to have another 2 subs on your right wall, one that's about 3 feet from the front wall, another that's about 3 feet from the back wall. That setup will work really, really nicely for generating extremely uniform bass, right? You don't have to go midpoints of the 4 walls. You don't have to go corners. You can do like what a lot of people will do, right? They'll have 2 subs on their front wall, right? They'll have 2 subs on their front wall, maybe 3 feet in from their 2 side walls. Mirror that on your back wall, right? 2 subs on your back wall, both of them 3 feet in from the side walls. That will also work terrifically well. You're just doing that same thing, but on your side walls instead of your front and back wall. That'll make them into speaker stands for your front, left, and right speakers. You don't have to move your rear left sub. You add another one towards the rear right, which he said is open and available to do. So if you want to do 4 subs, go for it, man. Just 2 on your left wall, 2 on your right wall.
I honestly, I mean, far be it from me. He said he asked to be talked down off the ledge. We're saving them a little bit money by not suggesting a masking solution as being a
Right.
viable option. We're
Two
also
screens instead.
two screens. Yeah, well, he's already got paid for the one.
He's already got one.
Really,
yeah.
he was going to get rid of. He wasn't going to use that more. I mean, he didn't talk about selling it. Anyways, so I don't necessarily think you need 2 more subs in here. I don't think that there's going to be some uniformity differences. There's going to be smoother bass. There's going to be more even bass throughout the room. That's going to be something that's going to be measurable and perhaps noticeable. It's not going to be the difference that you notice going from 1 sub to 2. It's just not going to be. It's not going to be that dramatic of a difference. So be prepared for that. And if there's something that if there's something, at least I would say, hey, maybe this is something you don't need to do unless you really have extra money burning a hole in your pocket and got nothing else to do with it. And if you don't spend it, somebody's going to take it from you. Then yeah. But other than that, I would say you could probably skip the second 2 subs. But that's just me. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.